Hey everybody, it is Mike Young, Denise Young. We are here on getting our daily vigorous aerobic exercise in the mall because it's super hot summer outside and there's, of course, chance of afternoon thunderstorms, so we don't want to get drenched, so we're in the mall. This is why you guys got to go to these malls even though nobody goes anymore. Today we put an article together about salt, added salt, and where it comes from, because I always tell people, like, the more you optimize your health, the more you're going to help the environment. And this is another instance just like that. So Denise is going to read the article.
How do humans obtain salt to add to food, and is it harmful to the environment and our health? How do humans obtain salt for adding to our food? Salt is a crucial ingredient in many dishes, and it is essential for human health. However, the process of obtaining salt can be environmentally destructive. In this article, we will explore the different methods used to source salt for adding to food and their impact on the environment. We will also discuss whether adding salt to human food is necessary for good health. Is most salt mined? Most of the salt used for human consumption is obtained through mining.
So mining is a pretty destructive process for anything. And I've mentioned this before. Think about this, added salt is not plants. If you think you're supposed to eat plants, which already contain salt in a different form that's more bioavailable, you don't need to be mining your food, okay? I mean, that's the basic idea.
The process can cause soil erosion, water pollution, and habitat destruction.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very invasive, right? Whenever you put out stuff for, you're trying to extract minerals from the earth, you're going to be doing all kinds of other stuff that is probably a really, really destructive and bad thing that's not natural.
In addition, the mining process can release harmful chemicals and heavy metals into the environment, which can have negative effects on human health.
For sure. All the machines that they use and all the different techniques, they're designed to get as much of whatever it is out of the earth as they possibly can with the least amount of effort and the least amount of cost. And there usually isn't a lot of oversight on these things.
Are all the methods used to source added salt destructive to the environment? While mining is the most common method used to source salt for adding to food, it is not the only method. Another method is hydraulic or solution mining, which involves pumping water beneath the Earth's surface to dissolve salt deposits.
Okay, so that's different. I didn't even know this. They're different from physical removal of matter. You're actually flushing stuff out with water, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. This method is less destructive than traditional mining, but it can still have negative environmental impacts.
Sure.
For example, it can cause subsidence.
Subsidence. Subsidence is like in Florida, sinkholes. All of a sudden the ground seems solid and then one day it just caves in on you.
Which is the sinking of the ground surface due to the removal of salt deposits.
Because they're like the veins in there. They're trying to get these veins of minerals and they take them out eventually, and usually stuff collapses. That's just a normal process.
How does obtaining salt from seawater hurt the environment? Another method used to source salt for adding to food is to obtain it from seawater. Salt evaporation ponds are shallow, artificial basins designed to extract salt from seawater through natural evaporation.
So they're going to basically set up a pond of some kind that is actually adjacent to the edge of the ocean, I guess, and they're going to use that to extract as a staging area to extract the salt from the water.
Yeah. This method is less destructive than mining, but it can still have negative environmental impacts. For example, it can disrupt the natural flow of water and harm marine life.
For sure. I mean, it's just kind of like fishing. When you use a giant net, you're catching everything, not just what you actually want to catch. And in this case, if you're basically fishing for salt crystals in the water, right? That's what you're doing. You're going to catch everything else too. It's really bad. Another thing that's not mentioned in this article is Himalayan sea salt, this pink Himalayan stuff. Well, if you understand the idea behind that, those are in the Himalayan mountains where the sea level used to be that high, and they left salt deposits from the ancient seas. But those are still environmentally destructive methods to source salt.
To mine them.
Yeah, well, just pulling it off of there, it might cause landslides or who knows what else. All kinds of issues.
So is there any way to source salt for adding to foods that isn't environmentally destructive? One way to source salt for adding to food that is less environmentally destructive is to obtain it from salt flats. Salt flats are large, flat areas where salt is naturally deposited.
There's some in the United States, I know.
Yeah, there are some out in the desert.
High desert areas, southwest.
No, we traveled
Utah.
through some salt flats on our way to California.
Okay.
It was in Death Valley.
Yeah.
There are salt flats. So this method is less destructive than mining or hydraulic mining, but it is not a viable option in all regions. Another option is to use salt substitutes, which are made from potassium chloride instead of sodium chloride. However, these substitutes can have a bitter taste and are not suitable for everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of like artificial sweeteners, I guess.
Yeah. Is it required to add salt to human food, or are humans better off health-wise by ensuring salt isn't added to their food? While salt is essential for human health...
Right, it is. Okay, let's pause there. All plants that are mostly whole plants contain salt in them, not in the mined or broken down rock form. They contain it in a different form, even though it's the same thing chemically, that was grown inside the plant and developed inside the plant and is more bioavailable for humans. So that's what you want to do, and you're going to get it anyway. So don't let anybody scare you into thinking you're not going to get enough salt if you don't add salt to your food. It's the opposite.
While salt is essential for human health, most people consume too much of it.
Yeah.
The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, which is about 1 teaspoon of salt. However, the average American consumes about 3,400 milligrams a day.
And the 1 teaspoon includes all the sodium that's already in your plants that you're eating. Yeah. So you can't eat a teaspoon that's added. You have to eat way less than that, and nobody does that. Everybody has way too much sodium. And here's another way to get less sodium is drink pure water from spring water or distilled water in our water bottle that you can get on our website.
Consuming too much salt can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Therefore, it is important to be mindful of the amount of salt we consume and to limit our intake. Why eating as much certified healthy vegan food as possible is so important, since added salt isn't allowed as part of this diet.
Yeah.
One way to limit our salt intake is to eat more certified healthy vegan food.
Yes.
This diet requires that no added salt or sodium be used during the food cooking and preparation process. Instead, whole plant fiber is used to enhance the flavor of the food. Fiber doesn't have any flavor.
Yeah, that's ChatGTP for you, and the language learning models. They're not exactly perfect yet, but all the sources are there. Let me just say,
flavor without salt.
Yes. Well, let me just mention that all the sources are there. The whole text is there. Look at our YouTube channel, either aPlantBasedDiet.info or aPlantBasedDiet.org if you're on YouTube, on the YouTube platform. Right around the same time of the release of this video, you'll find a picture that has all the text and all the hyperlinks. Same thing on my personal timeline on Facebook, Mike Young.
This diet is beneficial for human health because it is high in fiber, vitamins and minerals, and low in saturated fat and cholesterol. To learn more about certified healthy vegan food, visit healthyveganfood.info. And all 6 sources are mentioned.
There's no other concluding sentence or anything? That's it?
No, that's it.
Okay, so the bottom line is you don't need salt added. You're going to get the salt in the bioavailable form in the plants. And not only is there a problem because you're adding a non-plant mineral to your food in the form of added salt, which is bad for you, has all kinds of health consequences, the environmental consequences are pretty bad too, and you don't even need to do that. There's no need to do it. In fact, not only is there no need to do it, your health is better off without you doing it. So this is like a no-brainer to me, if you ask me. What do you think, Denise?
I agree.
Well, why hasn't everybody taught this when they're growing up?
Never comes up.
It never comes up in school? All right, well, we got to get our class together so we can put this stuff together online for our students or whoever wants to learn this stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Let us know your stories about added salt or anything about the mining industry or the way people obtain salt. I would love to know about it because no one ever talks about this stuff. Everyone just says that they have to add salt. Oh my gosh, the food is so much better, but they never talk about this aspect at all, ever. So share this video with other people. Give us a thumbs up and please subscribe if you don't already. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.